What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Danganronpa Episode 10. And for once I thought that we might get a nice relaxed episode, but then I remember how messed up this series is. So of course the episode starts off with like any other episode after a trial where another floor is open, and we actually learn that this floor, which is the fifth one, is the final floor. And we saw that it now has a garden, and there was some weird classroom that Togami found that was just all messed up. It was like covered in blood. It was just like destroyed. But Fuwaka, she actually found this combat knife, which we all know that she can't be trusted with because she becomes this serial killer when she sneezes. And how Hakaguri and Asahina, they messed up in the last trial, and I guess Togami, he didn't want it. So he actually passed this knife on to Nagi. And so Nagi was going to keep it safe. But then Kiguri, and we all know Kiguri has been like one of this series so far biggest mysteries, because she's always disappearing and she just goes off doing her own thing, and we don't see her till like something goes down, and that's when she finally comes back. And this episode was no different, but this time Togami, he finally said something, and he like called her out on it, because they all have been wondering like where does she go when she leaves, but sadly she cannot say where she goes. But it's obvious that nobody trusts her right now except for Nagi. And it got to the point that Togami even took her room key, which to me was kind of odd, because I mean, if you can't get into her room like during the nighttime, what's gonna happen? So I'm guessing that Togami either gives it back to her when she comes to him, or maybe she has some other way to get into her room, but I'm not really sure how that works. But of course, Kiguri goes to do her own thing, and then at one point she came to get Nagi, because those two talked in the bathroom because there's no cameras there, so they were talking in private and stuff. But during that, Kiguri actually knew what Sakura was talking about in her suicide note, and Sakura actually broke into Mono Bear's office, and she took a key, and now her and Nagi are working together, so he can attract Mono Bear while Kuguri goes to search for where this key, leads to. And we see while Nagi's doing that, we see Kuguri goes like to some gate that was like block one before, but when she uses that key, it's open. Now I'm wondering like what area is that, because if the fifth floor is the final one, then there is no sixth floor. So I do wonder like where did that gate that open lead to? Like maybe that could be closer to the exit. I'm not really sure, but now we see that like what Sakura did, it's gonna have this like domino effect, and now all the pieces are slowly falling into place. But somehow Nagi got sick, and we just see in his face that he even looks sick when he's sleeping, and then we see that masked figure like sneaking into his room, breaking in there, and that person actually took the combat knife that Nagi was hiding. And at first I thought that holy crap, can Nagi possibly die? Because he's sick right now, and he is weak. And this person who took the knife can easily kill him, but for some reason they didn't, and they left. But then Kiguri came in there, and she was saying something, but sadly we have no idea what she said because Nagi was sick. But the next day, when they all go to the gymnasium, Nagi sees that they are like breaking up Mono Bear, because for some reason Togami came there talking about that treasure he lost, and when he got there, Mono Bear was kind of like dead because he was like non-responsive. Oh, and that's one thing I forgot. That treasure that Mono Bear was talking about, it was that key that Sakura got for them. That's what he lost. But besides that, they were like taking apart Mono Bear, and it's obvious that he was like a robot or something. Like that part should be obvious. Like there's no way that a bear could come to life like that. So that really was kind of given. And then we see that there was a bomb inside of him. So maybe if one of those students tried to attack him again, so they wouldn't have to suffer a fate like Junko did, that bomb would have went off and possibly took out all of them. But luckily, Togami actually, turn off the bomb so that nothing would happen. So now that you see Mono Bear is kind of, dead, they decide to go check his office. but when they go there, it's actually locked. And they were going to pick it because he sent Fuuka to go get a pickaxe. And I gotta say, Fuuka is basically Togami's slave at this point. She would even kill herself if you order her to. But of course, when she got there, something made her sneeze, and she became genocider, and so she ran back to them. And that's when they find out there was actually a body that was in the garden, and of course that person is dead because they have a knife going through them. And we see that for some reason that the person's body, it was covered with a coat, but even Asuna, she even said that person who was killed was a female. And when Genocider actually goes to check who it is, for some reason she had her mask that was like, on her face to hide her identity, set to go off in a bomb or something. And we just see something fly back in the flames. And so I thought that maybe Genocider or Fuuka, because we all know that they're the same person. I thought that maybe that they died as well. But it turns out when she got up, she was just fine. But when they put out that fire finally, it was just, that body was just like charcoal at that point. But luckily, one thing that did not get destroyed, it was a key, and Togami had some idea about where it would go. And when he opened the door, we actually like go into the announcement room, and that's when everything just get like messed up to a whole nother level, because Mono Bear, he actually comes back, and he's alive, but according to them, he seems different. So maybe like every Mono Bear is different, like personality wise, because I gotta admit, this one did seem more of a potty mouth than the last one. But maybe they'll go into more detail about that, because even he said that he couldn't stay the same after 2 years, which was like really weird. So maybe they're like different models that will come to life when they sense that like one has died. I'm not really sure about that, but apparently that this right here, what Mono Bear is doing, is like a TV, like internet show, and even though people would like normally go into a fit over this and send help, he has said plenty of time that like nobody will come for them. So I am wondering, like, why is that? Like, how come nobody will come for them? And there's going to be a TV show and an internet stream. So that would like really confuse me. And hopefully Mono Bear will explain that in time. But overall, this episode, it was really messed up, but I gotta say, I loved it. It was messed up, but I loved it a lot. But as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, you gotta take it easy. And I'll see you all next time.